So. Wieder zurück. Ich muss mir Story, wir haben jetzt doch gut lange an der Mission gegangen.
Alfric, how serendipitous that you have come to our aid.
I am relieved that I wasn't too late. I do hope my presence proved useful.
No doubt about it. We needed the backup.
Professor, I do believe this is the first time our paths have crossed, is it not? Of course, I have heard all about you from Her Grace, the Archbishop. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Elfric. The Church has granted me custodianship of Abyss. Indeed. And despite my responsibilities, I am but a humble monk. I am sure you have already been told about Abyss's unique situation. For various
ja, wir haben schon
reasons,
mitbekommen.
all of the inhabitants here are unable to live a peaceful life on the surface. People like the Dagtons and Almirans, who suffer undue persecution across Fodlan. The poor and the sick, who are forced into Abyss. Not to mention all the other unfortunate souls who ended up here. I believe it is my sacred duty to provide a place for those who have nowhere else to go.
Right. And the poor and sick living in a sunless crypt helps them... how?
Enough, Claude. Please, forgive my friend, Elfric. We would love to hear more.
I mean, komplett helfen tut's ihn ja wirklich nicht, ne? Es gibt ihnen halt eine Zuflucht, aber... Ja, es ist ja nur das Behandeln eines Symptoms als wie eine Wurzel des Problems.
In all honesty, I understand his concern. I dearly wish I could provide a better life for my flock. But it would appear that Her Grace and most of the Church consider the existence of Abyss to be something of a nuisance. No? I've heard tell of those within the Church who intend to purge Abyss.
That's the Church for you. They make a big deal out of helping the helpless, when it suits them.
We can't just sit back and accept the way things are. We've got to fight the system. Sure, I'm here to hide from literally countless bounty hunters. But I'm not the only one in need. You're in a bad way too, Happy. You can't just let the Church walk all over us.
Too true. For the sake of all who dwell in Abyss, we must help dear Alfric to turn the tide.
I am overwhelmed with gratitude. Your fervent support is all the reward I could ask for. As for you, Professor, I must beg a favor of you. The Ashen Wolves are a house in name alone. They are eager students with no teacher to guide them. If you could find it in your heart to take them under your wing, I would be most grateful. Naturally, your official duties take precedence, so you need only help out when your schedule allows.
Wait a minute, Elfric. Where's this nonsense coming from?
I second that question. We have no need of a professor when we have you.
Dear flock, I am a mere guardian. I can protect you, but I cannot enrich your minds. Though I call this gathering an academy house, I have long lamented that it isn't truly so. Now, I am blessed with the opportunity to correct this. The professor who stands before you has garnered a great deal of acclaim on the surface. A most trustworthy and esteemed teacher, to say the least. What's more, I happen to be acquainted with the father of this fine individual. I met Geralt back when he was a knight. I was born and raised in Garrick Mach, so I often had the opportunity to spend time with him. Your mother as well. She was a cherished friend of mine. I was even present for their wedding.
War eine weitere Person, die Englisch mal auch unsere Mutter überhaupt kennen. Bisher war es ja nur irgendwie gefühlt Rhea und Gerald, die irgendwas über unsere Mutter wussten.
With parents like yours, I have no doubt that you possess the kindness and patience necessary to guide these students.
But...
It'll be fine. It's not like we're strangers anymore. Say, Elfric, don't you need to take care of those thieves?
Ah, right you are. Please, excuse me. Oh, and one more thing, Professor. If ever you would like to hear more about your parents, I would be delighted to share my memories with you.
Alright. Wir würden immer gerne mal über unsere Eltern hören. Jetzt im Speziellen unsere Mom, aber wir wissen auch gar nicht viel über Jared.
Cindered shadows. The rite of rising. Ah, Professor, to what do I owe this pleasure?
Haben wir über unsere Eltern
Yes,
natürlich.
of course you do. I will gladly tell you all that I know. Where to begin? If you have something particular in mind, please ask and I shall answer as best I can. Kind and wise. I would often see her in the library, her nose always buried in a book. Gerald was very much then as he is now. His knights would have done just about anything for him. Whenever he had time to spare, he would instruct the children of the monastery in combat and tactics. Just like those wide-eyed youngsters, your mother and I made a hero of him in our minds. When I learned that Gerald and Citri were to be married, I was quite surprised. Back then, Gerald was something of a mentor to me.
Ja, du kommst zum ersten Mal zu dem Zeitpunkt das erste Mal, dass du den Namen unserer Mama erfahren, also Citri. Also im Main Game, ich glaube, erwähnt ihn Gerald einmal.
As for Citri, she found it difficult to express her emotions. It was only when she was gazing at Gerald that I ever saw her smile. A smile that rivaled the very sun. His tales of the outside world must have seemed like a lifeline for one as frail and guarded as she.
Ich finde auf jeden Fall sehr viel von Citri und Gerald zu halten. Damn. Er hat sehr viel Lob für beide. Und, warum fällt mir schon wieder Wörter nicht ein? Komplimente.
Indeed, she lacked the strength to travel beyond the monastery. The only souls she ever spoke with were a select few within the monastery walls.
Na gut, warum sie, ja, körperlich schwach war, wissen wir ja nun mittlerweile von der Main Story.
I can picture it now. The stories he told her. His striking words and his boisterous laugh. Listening to him must have given her a great deal of hope. As for me, I could never have become like Gerald, as much as I wished for it. I suppose I did. He would tell stories from a century ago as though he had lived them himself.
Hat er auch. Ich glaube, es wurde nie explizit erwähnt, aber dadurch, dass ja Gerald das Blut von Rhea in sich trägt, weil sie ihn damit mal gerettet hat, lebt Gerald auch um einiges länger. Er ist auch mehr als 100 Jahre alt. Einfach aufgrund dessen.
No matter how fervently one studies the stories of old, that is no easy task. Professor, you traveled with Gerald before coming here. You must have seen a great many things, yes? Forgive me for overstepping, but do you not regret foregoing your travels to take up residence here?
Aber dir ist auch ganz Neues eigentlich.
Well then, I suppose I have no choice but to assist you as best I can. To shape young minds must afford you a unique perspective on the world. I am certain my unsolicited advice is nothing but a nuisance, but please, hear me out. It is my hope that you will live a full life, experiencing the world, fostering strong relationships with people. Do so for dear Citri, whose wish to experience such things shall regretfully never be granted. I cannot deny it. It is my own stubborn notion, one that her grace will likely not think kindly of. Beyond my personal motive, I believe that you alone can guide my flock to even greater heights. And perhaps you will learn from them as well. But I have taken enough of your precious time. Know that I am here for you. Always.
Auf jeden Fall schon mal sehr nett. Ich glaube, einer der bisher sympathischsten Leute bei der Church of
Pray
Zeros,
tell,
to be
Yuri,
honest.
did those foul bandits whom we bested at the arena confess to anything?
Not a word. And they wouldn't name names. I got the feeling they didn't know much themselves. However, one thing is clear. Whoever hired them is after something here in Abyss.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. They must have been on a treasure hunt or something.
A treasure hunt here? I don't get it. What is there to find in these dingy tunnels?
Elfric, was it? Looks like this is ringing a bell for you.
Well, something does come to mind. But the notion is preposterous at best.
Never discount a wild hunch. Sometimes they're closer to the truth than you think.
Any lead will do, so long as it helps determine our next course of action. Please, go on.
As you wish. Though, again, it is quite far-fetched. You see, there is a long-standing legend here. It is said that deep underground, below even Abyss, is a place called the Chasm of the Bound, wherein lies the Chalice of Beginnings.
Das ist übrigens auch mit den Kelch der Anfänge in Tränen wird, haben wir sowieso schon mitbekommen, oder?
I've never heard of it, but chances are it's some kind of sacred artifact belonging to the church.
I once happened upon an old document that mentioned a ritual called the Rite of Rising. The text was incomplete, so I was unable to achieve a full understanding of the topic. I cannot even guarantee the authenticity of what I read. But it stated that the Chalice of Beginnings is a sacred object, crafted by order of Saint Seros herself. Saint Seros apparently used the artifact to carry out the Rite of Rising, along with the 4 apostles. It is a ritual that is believed to have the power to resurrect a life that was lost. However, the ritual failed. The 4 apostles bound the chalice, so that it would never fall into a mortal's hands.
The Rite of Rising, huh?
Ah, yes, the Chalice of Legend. My father mentioned it to me a very long time ago. A secret treasure of the church. A chalice, powerful enough to resurrect the dead. Exhilarating, no?
Quite. It is no small wonder that people are after it.
Even so, we still don't have much to go on. We must gather more information about this legend at once.
I wholeheartedly agree. I will do all I can to track down more clues within the monastery. Although Garrick Mach's library is so well curated, I doubt any further records will be found.
Wondrous! We shall do all that we can as well.
Oh, ich denke mal, damit haben auch die Charaktere offiziell ein Ziel für diese Side-Story, ne? Nur dadurch, dass wir schon wussten, dass es um den Kelch der Anfänge gehen wird, heißt noch nicht, dass die Charakter dementsprechend schon das Ziel für sich gesetzt haben, ne?
Excuse me.
Wir benutzen das schon sehr. Ich will es eigentlich am besten für die nächste Mission nicht verwenden. Aber gut.
I've only had the chance to speak with Elfric briefly, but he seems like a respectable man. It's obvious the whole town has a lot of affection for him. Kind of reminds me of Lenato in that way.
Warum nicht?
Got a lot of time on my hands down here, so I've been venturing even deeper underground. This place is loaded with winding paths and blocked-off tunnels. It's a real maze. Only a few folks even know how to operate the gate mechanisms and hidden passages. That's what I said. Activate the mechanism and the gates slam shut. Bang! Actually, I'll level with you. Yuri and Constance are much better at scoping out that kind of thing.
Ja, kann ich mir auch gut vorstellen.
The Ashen Wolves got their name from the beasts who guard the Blue Sea Star. The Archbishop named the house herself, in fact. In spite of that, It seems she looks unfavorably upon our house of late. This saddens me greatly.
Frage ist halt, warum?
Wow. I heard Elfric came to Yuri's rescue in the attack that happened recently. That's just what you'd expect from someone as kind and strong as he is. I can't believe he's single.
War schon das letzte Mal mit Yuri kommentiert. Scheint jemand sehr vernarrt zu sein, was Yuri angeht. Ist hier diesmal nichts in der Rumpelkammer? Doch, da. Eine Giftaxt. Ah, Poison ist halt nicht so worth it in dem Game, ne?
Had a chance to poke your head in here, Professor? It's a fortune teller's room. Judging by all her mystical-looking doodads, I think she's the real deal, too. I wonder if she does matchmaking. Maybe she can help me sort through my countless suitors.
I mean, das ist natürlich das, was sie macht. Das ist ihre Mechanik für das Main Game.
Don't annoy Happy or make her feel disappointed. You mustn't. Not ever. Okay?
Also ja, wegen dem Seufzen. Mhm, verstanden.
Sometimes Elfric gives out candy. Stick close by him, and you might get some too. But save a little for me, okay?
Oh, ich brauch keine Süßigkeiten. Kannst du alles gerne haben.
Well, I'll be. Abyss is a sprawling place. Some houses, like mine, are actually quite far from the center of town. What brings me all the way here, then, you ask? I came to see Elfric. Even a glimpse of him is said to bring good luck.
Welcome. Please come and welcome.
Achso, ja, ich muss ein bisschen Gold mal verkaufen, ne? Man ist echt sehr limitiert mit dem, was man hat.
Thank you. Please come again.
Hey there. Is this it? There you go.
Ich gehe jetzt mal die Sachen, die ich repariere, die schmiede ich halt auch.
Is this it? There you go. Is this it? There you go.
Deswegen wollte ich erstmal, dass ich so ein paar Sachen erstmal kaputt kriege. Bevor ich sie schmiede.
Come back anytime.
Verlängert das Leben der Items um einiges. Die Gift-Upscale euch geben? Ja, ich muss mal gucken. Es könnte für Bestien maybe interessant sein. Aber ansonsten.
I see. Well, well. The Imperial Princess, the Crown Prince, and the next Sovereign Duke. Must be exhausting trying to suss out each other's intentions, huh?
Nah, we get along great. I mean, we kind of have no choice. A petty squabble could start an all-out war. And it doesn't take a fancy title to have a hidden agenda. Isn't that right, Yuri?
Cheeky. And off base. What do you think, friend? Do you think I'm off plotting nefarious deeds? Not very perceptive, are we? Even so, that's a bit much, wouldn't you say? I do what I need to get by. Nothing more than that. As for the others, they've all got their own struggles. But they're nothing if not trustworthy.
Humbling yourself while promoting your friends. Gotta say, I don't hate this side of you.
Seems we're in mutual neutrality of one another. I like that you keep your cards close. We'll get along just fine, you and I.
Ja, die zwei passen auch gut zusammen. Also, not gonna lie, die passen echt gut zusammen.
Pardon the odd question, but something has been bothering me for a while now. Your hair. Was it always that color?
That is an odd question. But yes, if you must know, it was a different color when I was a child. How could you know that? Is it possible that we met before the Academy?
Ich sag mal dazu nichts. Ich sage einfach nur mal dazu, spielt entweder die Crimson Flower oder Blue Lions Route, beziehungsweise im Speziellen die Blue Lions Route. Ich sag mal wirklich dazu vorher wirklich mal nix.
It's a long story. Now is not the time or place.
Yes, of course. My apologies.
Ja. Da wird ein bisschen mehr darauf eingegangen.
There was a time when I did much fighting. Then I was captured. Then I escaped. My home is far away now. My mother is waiting for me. But returning is far away. I worry that I will be here until I am very old.
No. Hat sie auch die ganze Zeit im Hintergrund gerade so.
Professor! Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The bandit sightings have stopped, for now. I still won't let my guard down, though. What else? Notice how everyone's in high spirits? Know why? I do. It's because Master Elfric is here. He's real special, that one. He saved my life, and lots of others here, too. He's earned some hero worship.
Okay.
The records should be here some... Oh! Hello, Professor! It's good that you've come. I realized that I missed an opportunity to congratulate myself on my military achievements. But now that you're here, I have an audience for it. Indulge me, won't you? Oh,
Ich manchmal echt ein bisschen selbstverliebt.
that the utmost honor in combat belongs to none other than I, Constance von Nouvelle.
Dabei hast du nichts mal gemacht.
What a relief to get that off my chest. Now, where did Elfric get to? I must have words with him.
4 apostles. Ah, this is killing me. I'm on the verge of remembering something. I can't shake the feeling that one of their names is also a food or something.
And food? Ich will gerade mal kurz gucken. So, Ich wüsste nicht, welches davon eine Frucht sein soll, aber gut, ich weiß den Namen, ja.
Professor!
Hey, you've only been on the job a few moons, huh? No wonder you don't come off as a mindless church flunky. Plus, you don't flap your trap all the time. I appreciate that. I hope you never change, no matter how many years you spend with the annoying people up there.
Abgesehen davon, dass wir noch die Göttin in uns haben, die von denen verehrt wird. Und früher und später uns sind die Göttin auch zu Kräfte haben. Ach, so viel Verhandlungen werden wir nicht durchgehen.
The folks have lost their homes on the surface. Abyss is all they've got. The place used to be nothing more than a den of criminals who did whatever they pleased. Now, we got Elfric to keep an eye on things. He understands that keeping people fed's the way to keep them calm.
Gut.
What do you require?
Ja, was haben wir wieder herstellen?
Welcome.
Panzerbrecher wäre definitiv nice to have.
Will this one do? Many thanks.
Kaufe ich mir jetzt mal wirklich.
Will this one do? Many thanks.
Machen wir auch mit dem Streitkolben so.
Come back soon.
Ein bisschen panzerbrechende Sachen.
Welcome.
Ansonsten.
Please come again.
Hey there.
Ansonsten ich mit den Rest erstmal wieder so weit auf. Ja, man kann das mit Dunkelmetall reparieren. Davon haben wir wenigstens ein bisschen was. Sehr schön.
Come back anytime.
Das lagern wir auch mal. Ansonsten viel kann man halt weiter nicht vorbereiten, ne? Wir müssen dann wirklich genau picken, aussuchen und sehen, was wir für die nächsten Kämpfe mitnehmen wollen, ne?